Hello and welcome back to another episode on Life Afloat. In today's video I'm going to be chatting to you about what I found most challenging when moving on to the narrowboat. This is something I've been asked a couple of times now, so I thought it would be a good idea to address that in a video. Before I get into what I found more challenging about moving on to a narrowboat, if you haven't already, please do subscribe to the channel. Your support would really be appreciated. There's loads more boat related videos coming along, cruising videos, maintenance videos, all that sort of stuff, and videos of me sat here chatting to you. And on the subject of being sat here chatting to you, I've mixed it up a bit today. My regular viewers will know that I have changed the angle that I'm recording at. I just think this might be a bit more of an interesting angle for these sit down vlogs instead of having the camera pointing pretty much straight onto me. So let me know in the comments below please if you prefer this angle or not, or any suggestions that you have. I will of course listen to and be happy to try out. So moving on to a narrowboat is a pretty big thing. It's a big decision to make. So I think there's a couple of things really that have been most challenging for me moving on to a narrowboat. One of those things is just what a steep learning curve it's been. I wasn't new to boating. I'd been on a couple of boating holidays, day hire boats, that sort of thing in the past. Wouldn't say I was very knowledgeable, absolutely not. Far from it, but I wasn't completely new to boating. But there were things I had to learn about that I never knew existed or would foresee having to learn about. So things like a stern gland, I didn't have any idea what that was. How 12 volt electrics, I didn't know anything about 12 volt electrics. Didn't know how the water supply sort of worked on a boat. I knew that you'd have to sort of maintain and do engine checks just as you do with a car, you know, and any other vehicle. But obviously specific checks that you would do prior to cruising. All those sorts of things. It's just a massive amount to learn. So that's been one of the most challenging aspects of moving onto a boat for me, is just what a steep learning curve it's been. So yeah, the other major thing that has been a challenge is getting used to the small living space. I came from quite a large 5-bedroom house, and now I'm on a 61 foot long, 7 foot wide tube, which realistically the inside living space is about 50 foot by just under 7 foot wide. So that's been a bit of a challenge. I've had to get rid of a lot of things that I had, and to be honest I don't actually miss them, but it's been good for me because it's forced me to keep things tidy, because I wasn't perhaps the most tidy of people before, and I don't really like clutter. So to have no clutter, I have had to just make sure I've found a place for everything for it to go and just keep it tidy, put things back as soon as I'm done with them. Otherwise I'd end up with stuff all over the worktops and the table and the cupboard tops and everything, and I can't be doing with that. I hate clutter. It just makes me feel uncomfortable. A lot of people might say, well, if you live on a narrowboat you have to get used to a bit of clutter, but I seem to have managed to avoid hanging stuff up and leaving stuff out on the worktops, so I'm quite pleased with that. But then it is only me here, you know, most of the time. I do have the 2 girls come to stay on a regular basis every week, but I've managed to find them a bit of storage space as well, and with the storage boxes on the roof that I've got now, I've managed to keep majority of the decorating things and tools, like hand saws, that sort of thing, up there, out of the way. Just things that I'm not going to use very often, really. So yeah, I mean, those 2 things there, I would say, were the biggest challenge for me. Just learning about living on a boat and what you need to do generally is just a massive steep learning curve, and then just adapting to living in such a small space. If you are a liveaboard boater watching this, I know that a few of you are, I'd be really interested to hear in the comments below, guys, what you thought was the most challenging thing about moving on board. And once again, if you haven't subscribed, please do so. Got loads of videos coming up in the near future. I'll be making a cruising video soon as I move the boat over the next couple of days. So that's coming up. We've got a bit of tidying and cleaning and tightening up in the engine room to do, so I'll be doing videos on that. Just loads of random sort of boat stuff coming up, so stay tuned for that. But thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate your continued support and interest in the content that I'm making. If you want to support me further and subscribe, I do have a Patreon page, and I'll put a link in the description below the video, so you can go and check that out and see what I can give you in return for your support. But until next time, thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.